On this episode of the Violent Professional Podcast, I sit down with Ted, U.S. Army veteran and Aries gun team member. We talk about his time in the UK military before transferring over to the United States military, the tactical industry, and the recent release of the Niger Ambush video. If you guys like this episode, please leave a comment below after the episode is over.
This is the Violent Professional Podcast brought to you by AriesClothing.com.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, dude, it's good to talk to you today. I know there's a lot of people that are interested in hearing about you from the gun team page because they just get a one-sided perspective of it. They see you talk on there, and if you interact with them, they get that side of you too. But I wanted to go a little in depth on who you are as a person, your background in the UK infantry, and coming from the start to where you are today. If you want to touch on that for a little bit.
Yeah. No, so obviously I have the accent, so you guys figured that out. I joined the British Army 2003. I did 7 years over there. I joined the 1st Battalion, the Royal Anglian Regiment. Did 2 tours, one of Iraq, one of Afghanistan. Iraq was my first combat deployment, if you will. Didn't see much combat. It was very much, in hindsight of what I was to see later on in my career, a very boring deployment. But at the time, I was 18, barely, and it was my first overseas deployment, so I was pumped to be there. And that's pretty much all there is to say about Iraq. After I got out from Iraq, I tried out for a sniper platoon. I was selected and went to sniper platoon, went to school and all that good jazz. In 2007, my battalion deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Now, anyone that knows anything about Helmand Province, Afghanistan, will know that that place will test you in more ways than one. As an infantry soldier, we did everything from clearing trenches with fixed bayonets to ambushing people with claymores. Like it was a full-on 6 months, and I was still only fucking 20 years old at the time, so I grew up pretty fast. You spent time in Helmand, Mike. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's one of the most legit places I've been as far as combat that's like very close proximity and very intense. So yeah, I totally understand that, man. It's a way you grow up fast over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean I'll get into it more, but I mean it was what it was.
Yeah. So you had that time in your life where you're a UK citizen, you're in the infantry, you go to Iraq, Afghanistan, and then you decide to make a jump to the United States military. How did that happen? Because I know people see you interact on the feed and they're like, he talks a little bit different, but obviously you're from the UK. But how did you make the transition from the UK to being a United States military member?
So my father served 26 years U.S. Air Force. He was stationed in England for most of it because he married my mother, who was English. And because I guess the U.S. Air Force, it's a lot nicer about where they post you than the U.S. Army. He got to stay in England for most of his career, but albeit a 4-year stint in Germany. So I had dual citizenship. So when I was in Afghan in 2007, I worked with some pretty cool blokes, and I got talking to them like, hey, how do I come over and do the things that you do? And they were like, well, man, you gotta be an American citizen. And I was like, fucking check. I've got dual citizenship. They were like, okay, well,
that makes
you can do
easy.
this and do this and this, and here I am. So
Awesome, bro. So I know we can't talk much about what you do, but I know you're heavily into weapons and the tactical industry and stuff of that nature. That's pretty much what like you and the other dude on the Ares gun team, they that talk about that kind of stuff is bringing up discussions of tactics, training, firearms, etc. But what's one of the things that you notice, or a couple of things that you notice about the industry that you either like or you do not like?
Uh, the like is there's plenty of information out there. That's the big. Anyone could be involved in the military some way or the other. Could design some fucking kit, and someone's going to use it at some point, somewhere in some shithole on planet Earth. The bad thing is you don't know which one's designing the good shit. So that's the hardest part because of the world we live in, the information, social media, all that bullshit. Anyone that had fucking 4 months in Kuwait can come out and say, "Hey, this is the best fucking rucksack that's ever been made. Like, you should buy this." And some idiot who don't know fucking any better is gonna buy it and regret that fucking purchase. And
I think
also,
that goes further than
so
that. I think it's like in the military in general, a lot of that shit happens with government purchasing and whatever else, like in specific areas of the government. There's a lot of people that just buy off on what motherfuckers are saying, and they're not really looking into who they are or what fucking experience or knowledge they have on a specific subject or a thing that they're putting out.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So fucking, it's all like for instance, like we got some new sights in the other day. Fuck yeah, brand new fucking money, great fucking sight. Didn't get the fucking mounts for them,
Ugh.
so we can't fucking use them. So that's this case in point. Some fucking idiot's like, these guys asked for new sights, I'll buy them this. Didn't look into what else they fucking might need to buy to go with it to make it fucking work. Just bought them. Yeah, great. Okay, now we got them. Now we have to request the mounts. So maybe in about a year we might have the mount on our weapon systems.
So I mean,
But hey,
aside from the money that's spent, it's the fucking time wasted where you could be training with this thing, and then by the
yep,
time you get them, there's gonna be something else new that comes out.
yep, exactly.
Shit, dude. So Ted, knowing that you have been in both the UK military and now the US military, what kind of differences do you see between those two?
Oh yeah, good question. Obviously, I did 7 years in the infantry in the British Army, and I've done about coming on almost 8 years now in the U.S. military. And biggest difference would be, especially in the basic training, would be the U.S. military is a lot more like a fucking sausage factory. It's like get in, churn out the sausage, fucking see you later. Where the British military in training also was a lot more like personal. Like I knew what unit I was going to, what infantry regiment I was going to
Yeah, because
at the
it's
recruiting
super small,
office.
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's super small, so it has the ability to do that. Like I knew what infantry regiment I was going to. It recruited from 4 counties: Essex, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, and Norfolk. So everyone that was in that regiment was from those 4 counties. Like that's it. So it's what we call a local regiment. So and when you went to infantry school, your instructors were from the regiment you were going to. So they took a bit more interest in your training because you can imagine like you're an instructor there and you're fucking training a bunch of cunts. They get to regiment. What's the first thing you think? You're gonna get a fucking phone call like, "Hey, dickhead, why are you sending us shit bags?" You know.
Yeah.
Whereas the U.S. military isn't like that, as you well know, and a lot of the people listening to this, they know that it's a lot more like get in, fucking do a little bit of training, get the fuck out, you know?
Yeah.
And it becomes a lot more like the units problem. I heard that a lot when I was in basic training in the US military was, oh, don't worry, you'll figure it out when you get to your unit.
Yeah, you just
I'm
kick the
like,
turd
well,
down that fucking hill a little bit more each time.
yeah, like it's like fucking all right, what if I'm in Iraq 1 week after I get to my fucking unit? What point do I figure it out, you know? But
Yeah,
like I said,
I
British
think on
military is a
that,
lot
like,
smaller.
I think on that, that's
Sorry.
like the biggest problem with that kind of mentality is like you're not just, you know, getting people through to get them out of your hair, like we're talking about, but then these people are going down range with you, and you have to live with this fucking sack of shit that maybe is not
Yeah,
right for the position, you know?
exactly. So that was the biggest difference I've seen between the U.S. military and the British military. Was just British military is smaller, so it could take a little bit more, I don't know, time. Whereas the U.S. military is so large, it has so many moving pieces, it just needs to continually fill those spots.
Yeah. So, what's something like we talked about, like the what you like about the tactical industry, but like, I know you guys deal a lot with, you know, answering questions and whatever in your DM, but what's some of the stuff that like you see on social media or whatever that you can't really stand about the industry? Because there's a lot that I could go on about, you know, my industry and as far as like t-shirts and apparel or whatever. But what's something you see that
Uh,
you wish would change or stop completely in the social media world? Because there's stuff that I just am like, fuck, why are people doing this? Like they're just following and copying each other just for so they have fucking content.
being a fucking yeah, being original, being fucking original. So I sit around my team room sometimes. I talk to my mates. I'm like, talk about ideas that I'm having, like about fucking kit or guns or something, and then some fucking asshole on the team will like, yeah, someone's already done that. I'm like,
Damn.
fuck, man. Uh, so you see that, and then you see someone design the exact same fucking thing, except put a little bit of difference to it, and it's like, God, man. You're not helping any. Like, I know this is America, and it's all about like how much money can I fucking make,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you're in the business of helping your brothers downrange, your mates downrange. Like, be different. Make a fucking new original product. If you're just copying the same shit someone else has done and just adding like a fucking extra fucking molly strap to it,
Yeah.
you ain't helping anyone apart from yourself. Now, what
Yeah.
did you get in the tactical industry for in the first place? To help yourself or to help the fucking boys downrange? That's
Yeah.
the question that I think people have to fucking ask themselves before they get into the tactical industry.
I
Now, if you're just in it for the buck, whatever, dude. I got nothing against that. This is America. Like I said, it's America. Make as much money as you fucking want. But if you want to be different, if you want people to look at this guy and be like, yeah, that's some kit I can fucking rely on when I'm knee deep in the shit in some fucking asshole country, I think there's more pride in that, making a couple good pouches or some good kit than reproducing the same shit that everyone else is already
yeah.
producing.
There was a so I would when I roll out with my kit, it was very slick, like very basic, whatever worked for me type of mentality, and I didn't have a lot of extra shit because I feel like a lot of extra gear and kit and all the newest shit could be distracting. You know, when I was calling in airstrikes or whatever. But there's like I see some of these feeds, and I'm not in the tactical industry or gun industry or whatever per se, but I see some stuff that people do like, and it's definitely like they're trying to make as much money as possible. Like they're wearing, fuck man, I'm sure you've seen that. It's like, why is this dude wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a fucking kit, and then wearing nods that only like the top tier get to use, and you've never even been in the presence of, but you're putting the social media presence out because you think it's fucking awesome, but you don't have the
Hmm.
knowledge base to even fucking promote this shit. So why are you doing it?
Yeah, yeah. It's that's again like another thing is the knowledge base is like who's a veteran and who's someone who just put a fucking uniform on for 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
that's
someone else, you
another
know.
conversation altogether.
Like everyone's a hero, everyone's a veteran, everyone fucking took the oath. But no, I'm sorry, but that's fucking load of fucking bollocks. Not everyone's a veteran. Just because you put the uniform on for 4 years doesn't mean you're a fucking hero. You
Yeah,
know?
that's pretty rampant in the community as well. Like everybody's throwing that shit veteran owned, and I don't think they even know what the fuck that means. Like you said, just because you served does not mean you're a veteran, and nothing
No.
against those people that just served and didn't get the opportunity to go to a range or fucking even if they scammed out or whatever. Just calling yourself a veteran doesn't mean you're a fucking vet.
No, it doesn't. And it gets me fired up when I fucking hear that shit, dude. Like Yes, you're hitting the nail on the fucking head. Is the veteran versus someone who served is just be proud of what you did, man. You did
Yeah,
the uniform for 4 years, whether you're a cook, an 88 Mike, like whatever the fuck it was, you did it. You did your 4 years. Fucking move on. You don't need to try now, like shove it in everyone's fucking faces.
yeah. Or you
Like
you exaggerate about what you did or
exaggerate what you
whatever, and
did.
it just be
You know?
proud of what you did and fucking own it. We all don't get the same opportunities, but to fucking, some of us have amazing opportunities while they're in, and some do not. But you fucking served. That's the bottom line. Like, it doesn't matter if you're handing, like you said, it doesn't matter what you did. You're handing out fucking towels
Yep.
at the gym because in the Air Force that's an
Yeah.
actual job. Fuck.
Yep.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
To
You
be.
served the country in some way and supported the effort.
Yep. Like I got plaques, pictures all over my house that and if anyone came over, they'd be able to see what I did. But I don't walk around like fucking, hey man, look at me with doing this in some place so and so. You know, because at the end of the day, no one fucking cares.
Yeah.
No one really fucking cares like that you did that. Like the war's been going on for 16 years. Like no one fucking cares that you were in Afghanistan for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's that's part of like what our transition is like. So people are asking us why we're not posting more military photos, and we do from time to time, but it's partly
yeah,
because I'm running the company. I'm a civilian. I've transitioned out, and I still transition every day from being a military person to just a fucking civilian. So my company, in terms, should, but we still have a foothold in the community. So that's why, like, I think eventually, like, some people and some of these companies and whatever, they just cannot remove themselves, and they refuse to, and you know what I'm talking about. They stay in this fucking
yeah,
mindset.
yeah. You should have fucking stayed in then.
Yeah.
If you can't let go, you should have fucking stayed in. That's what that tells me.
Yeah. And I understand, like, the people that retire or forced out or whatever they do, but I just think, like, sometimes you need to just fucking eventually just call it good. The chapter's over. Fucking move on.
Yeah, yeah. They're like the boys that came back from World War I, World War II, Korea. What did they do? They came back and worked in an auto body part shop
Went
or
to work.
fucking went and worked on a farm. You know,
Yeah.
no one gave a shit. They just did it.
So there's I'll bring it up because this kind of like leads into that, but I won't say the name of this specific thing, but I know it went fucking viral in the community over social media, but it goes with the whole like trying to be popular, trying to stay relevant, trying to stay in some sort of fucking marketplace or whatever. Obviously you all know that, listen, or you don't, which is kind of weird cuz you live in a fucking cave at that point, but there's this company that put out a video of the Niger incident, and it stirred the fucking pot. And for me, and I'll just talk about what I think about it. And I don't give a fuck that they post videos or their news is retarded or whatever. For me, I look at it and like there's some value to showing that kind of stuff, but I think it's the right place. I don't think putting it out in the public eye where everybody has access to this specific video of these soldiers being executed or in a firefight. Which, by the way, I'll bring up. We throw on the uniform to go into those situations, like in really bad situations, some of us, so that the shit doesn't come back to us and the whole world doesn't have to experience it. So by putting out something like that, essentially you're opening up the floodgates to their fucking family, which in my mind is the most important thing in this whole thing. Is, do those people have kids? Do they have wives? They've got fathers, mothers, whatever, and now they have to know, even if they don't watch it, and they don't have to hit play on it, but just knowing that this video is out there of their loved ones dying in their own blood in a horrific manner, like, that's what fucking drives me crazy about it. And on top of that, throwing a watermark on it, trying to profit of it. Like, I can't stand when people do that. It's like, we don't do fundraisers, and we don't, and this is just us. Like, I don't give a shit if other people do it, but we don't even put like anybody's, pictures of memorials or anything on Aries, because I don't believe that we should have a picture on there if somebody looks at it and then they're like, I'm gonna go buy from these guys because they did something, they posted a photo or whatever. But I'm interested to think without like getting too much into who those dipshits are. But what's your take on that? Because I know a lot of people want to know what you think specifically about this.
So yeah, so I watched that video when it came out. Like I was in bed actually. Like it was early in the morning. I was in bed. I was scrolling through, and I saw it like helmet cam footage from the Niger Ambush. And my immediately thought was fucking, well, it's a veteran-owned company. Like they can't put out like what I thought it was going to put out. So I thought it might have a couple guys shooting at some stuff, some vehicles moving around, and then or maybe some still shots. I don't know. And then I fucking watched it. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, all right, okay, I can use this when I'm teaching my guys. I can use this as a lessons learned kind of thing to teach my guys. And then it just kept fucking going. And
Like there's value in that, like knowing or seeing that kind of
yes,
stuff for
100
people that
percent. There's
are
value.
in that community and like used like or in a situation like that, or could be. I think the general military community or like soft operators or whatever see that video and know and it's basically an example of
Mhm.
realities in war. So
Yes, 100%. A guy sent me a question after I posted on the gun team feed about what I thought of the video. He sent me a question about like how the how so many law enforcement dash cam photos of guys being killed and stuff and are used in training. I guess what I did put on the gun team post that I made, I was pretty emotional at the time, was yes, there is value in these videos being in the right hands, like in the military community, in the soft community, to be used to better prepare ourselves for future engagements. That's not what fucking happened. What happened was these motherfuckers put this fucking video out there of a fucking Green Beret being fucking executed. And they want to hold it like, oh, we're keeping it to the population knows the reality. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you and everything you believe in, motherfucker. Like, are you fucking serious that you can sit there and honestly type those words for people to read, saying we use this to explain the realities of warfare? People know the fucking realities of warfare. America above all. You just go around, you can see go talk to a fucking Gold Star family member and talk about the realities of fucking war. Now you think you need to post a fucking video about that? Like, go fuck yourself. Like, fucking come on. Like, wake up, man. Fuck.
yeah, and I was wondering like it's so obvious to everybody how fucking wrong it is. Like there's some fucking weird people out there that get off on like seeing that kind of shit, and I don't think that's in our communities, but there's definitely like if you throw a fucking watermark on it and you're I mean, where in this whole thing was somebody in that organization, which I don't know how big it is, but did they go like, "Hey, wait a second, like was anybody in there because those are soft dudes, like former soft dudes, but did they think for a fucking second like maybe we shouldn't post this and we should go about it in a different manner?" You know what I mean? Like posting some shit,
Yeah,
some doctored shit that
yeah.
ISIS posts up is not a fucking good way to go about it.
That was my biggest thing was at what point did someone be like, oh, this is a bad idea? Or
Yeah.
did the boss man just go fucking full retard, like, I'm fucking sending it.
Yeah,
Just
he
gonna
probably did.
send it.
Just gonna send it, bro.
Like I couldn't believe that whole video was on there. Like I'm gonna use that video to fucking train my new guys. Like, hey, if you're in this, like, this is no disrespect to third group. I got very, very good friends in third group. This is no disrespect to you. I don't know the full story, but I will use that video to train my new guys to get them thinking about, hey, maybe what would you have done differently in that situation? What could you have packed in your truck that would have made a difference?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, that kind of thing.
And even an example of
Not,
like this is the reality of what our business is about. Like we're gonna get into some
yes.
nasty shit, and you better be prepared. Not it's not like how are you gonna be prepared for that specific situation, and you could use it as an example
Hmm.
to like train those dudes, but like you have to be willing to accept that this is our line of work, and we're doing this for a
Yep.
greater good.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to the whole, like, the family's going to see it and all that kind of stuff. like the family has already lost their loved one. The thing that hits me is what about their teammates?
Yeah.
Like, what their teammates are gonna know that video's out there. They're gonna see that video. They might not watch it. They probably won't watch it. I wouldn't fucking watch it. Like their teammates now have to walk around knowing that people have seen that video. Like, you know how the military is. People are gonna see that video and be like, "Oh, you let your brothers down, man.
Yeah,
You fucked up. Like you
everybody
left them on their own."
everybody
And
shit
everyone
talks everyone for
exactly, but
fucking
no one
anything.
knows the
It's like,
full
oh, I would
fucking
have done that.
story.
I've got situations I was in where, like, I've got to live with like the fact I didn't react in certain ways and something happened or didn't happen or did happen or whatever, and you have to live with your individual like actions that you take, and then just to have that too, like just another level of fucking motherfuckers just shit
Mm-hmm.
talking, armchair quarterback, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing that's like people seeing that. You know, I was gonna see that those fucking losers out in the tactical industry, like fucking watching that, be like, "Whoa, man, I would have like fucking taken the 240 from my appendix holster from my fucking extra stretchy jeans, or like fucking kill, like go fuck yourself, dude. Like you're out designing tactical denim because you were fucking useless when you were in, and you got the fuck out. Like if you were still, if you still have fucking purpose, you would still be in the fucking military. Well, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
The chick does get me fired up though. Like the I see what like your perspective and everybody else's perspective. Like people all think differently, different opinions about this fucking thing, but it's all the same. It's just bullshit. And it was like I agree with you, man. I think probably there was somebody that was out there saying like, "Oh, this isn't a good idea," and the dude was like, "Fuck it, I'm the boss. Put it out." And
Yeah,
he's fucking owning it.
that's the only thing. There's no way that everyone there looked at that and was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea." It had to be to me. That's a boss move.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it, going full fucking dictator on this shit.
On that, like, I wonder if there was anybody that was like, "Fuck this place," and like just straight up quit. Because if I was in that
Maybe,
mentality, I would be like,
maybe.
fuck all this, man." Like, I'm very big on principle and like for working for things you believe in, regardless of what it is, passionate about it. But if you're, I don't know, I couldn't be on board with that at all, even if a boss was saying that kind of shit.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. I know there's one of the writers that used to write for them was getting a lot of shit from people, and he had to put out a post on Facebook like, "Look, I have nothing to do with that company anymore. I don't believe in fucking snuff videos. Like that was not me. I had nothing to do with it." So I know the community as a whole is pretty fucking torn up about the fact that they put that video out there.
Yeah,
But it's out there now, so unfortunately that's the way it is. And like myself, like I said, I'm gonna take that video and I'm not the last part because you ain't learning anything from the last part of the fucking video. I'll take the rest of it and I'll use that to help the young guys that I get and they're my team to get them remind them of one, why we do it, and two, what could we have done if we were in that situation that might have helped. You know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, with that, I appreciate you coming on and letting them know your perspective on things. Um, you got anything else to add before we end this?
Yeah, fucking interact more with the gun team page, people. Like I've got like two solid people that talk to me all the time, but then everyone else is like, well, these guys are a bunch of boring cunts. Like fucking I can interact a bit more. That's fucking,
Yeah.
I'm putting pictures and stuff out.
Yeah.
Fucking putting, like, interact. Send me some fucking questions. Ask me your opinion on stuff. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I think
I'll give you the honest answer. Don't worry about that.
I think that's what people don't understand about this company is like we've got a fucking huge reach between Facebook and Instagram, and I take time out when people message me, I'll send a video back. Like we interact with basically everybody that takes the time to message us. We interact. So like if you guys want any like questions answered about like Teddy's perspective on um, you know firearms or fucking anything firearms related or
Yeah,
anything, just hit him up and
yeah.
you can find him at Aries Gun Team on Instagram.
And if I don't hit you the first time, like, send it again, because I am still working and so is the other guy. So if we don't get you the first time, send the question again. We will get back to you. It might just not be immediately.
All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you again.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. See you later.